Just like everyone else who celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday, the Atlanta Hawks had a lot on their plate, taking on a team that basically boasts the best record in the NBA. And not only that, you beat them at home. So, of course, they were going to be out for blood in the second time around in 2 days, taking on the Atlanta Hawks here in State Farm. But it seems as if the Atlanta Hawks answered the call with the NBA Cup on the line. The Atlanta Hawks quieted everyone else out there doubting them with a major win versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. What's going on? My name is Walter Pollard, and this is Atlanta Hawks Digest. We're got to get into basically the entire skinny as to what happened in regards to today's game. What does that mean? Of course, we definitely talked about how the Atlanta Hawks can still hold on to their destiny, or basically hold on to their stake in the Group C division play in regards to the the in-season tournament or the NBA Cup. So right now, of course, we got to go ahead and go into the reviews, or not the reviews, but talk about the scenarios. If Atlanta wins and Chicago gets a loss, Atlanta Hawks advance. If Boston wins and Atlanta loses, Boston advances to the next round. And if Chicago wins and and Cleveland loses, then of course they advance. Now, of course, Atlanta has shut all of that down because the Atlanta Hawks, they got a major win versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, 117-101. And again, I was not expecting for the Atlanta Hawks to get this win because I knew that the Cleveland Cavaliers were definitely going to be out for blood. They were definitely going to be coming with the mindset of taking care of business on the road. And in the first quarter, the Atlanta Hawks definitely were in trouble because the Cleveland Cavaliers, it did seem as though they were out for blood. It did seem as though they knew what they were doing. The shooting just seemed to be on point. They actually jumped out to a 16-8 lead, just an 8-point advantage over the Atlanta Hawks. But plays like plays from guys like Dyson Daniels and Zaccharie Risacher, the Atlanta Hawks were able to close that gap, and not only just close that gap, but actually extend the lead as time went on throughout the second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So let's just go ahead and look at some of the stats from some of the players. And if you guys are having an issue with my voice, listen, forgive me. But Zaccharie Risacher, like I said, only 11 points on the game, but very effective. He was very effective in the first quarter, especially specifically in the first quarter, mainly because he kept with the active hands when the Atlanta Hawks weren't making the shots offhand in the first few minutes when they were trying to get things together. It did seem as though it was somewhat of a slower start, but Zaccharie Risacher kept them in the game early on. He kept the game from getting out of hand. So major kudos and shouts out to him. He was 4 for 8 from the field. He was 2 for 4 from the three-point line. So again, very good shooting from him. It was an effective night from Zaccharie Risacher. Big night from Jalen Johnson, 20 points, 7 rebounds. 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, 1 steal. Another effective night from Jalen Johnson. And again, I start to feel as though Jalen Johnson is more moving into a role as Robin to Trae Young's Batman. And I'm excited to see where things are starting to go with these two guys. The team is starting to gel, if you haven't noticed. The team is just starting to form into what we see is the Hawks going forward. I don't necessarily see there being a trade right now, but I do see that the Atlanta Hawks are starting to come together and move as one cohesive unit. Going on forward, man, Clint Capela, 13 rebounds, 8 points. Trae Young, he got a double-double, 21 points with 11 rebounds. Dyson Daniels, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 7 points. Again, very effective stat lines. We don't necessarily, well, we do like points. If the other team scores more points than you lose the game. We don't want that. But we want effective points, effective stats, steals, blocks, assists, active hands on defense, things of that such. And then on top of that, bench play. Bench play is very important. Onyeka Okongwu with 15 points, 2 assists, 7 steals. I'm sorry, 7 rebounds. And then you got DeAndre Hunter. He also just did an awesome job coming off of the bench with 23 points. What was it? 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And then, of course, Bogdan Bogdanović with 10 points. He was trying to shoot the three. Definitely had a little bit of hard time doing it, but it started to come together. He was 4 for 11 from the field, 2 for 8 from three-point land. But one thing that I wanted to point out to a lot of people is that Cleveland could not get the three-point ball going. They could not get the three-point ball going. They shot 28% from the three-point line, which was terrible, 11 for 38, while the Atlanta Hawks shot 41%, 14 for 34 from three-point land. And again, they're starting to find out who they are as a team. They're starting to figure out what they can and can't do. Again, one of my coworkers actually came up to me talking about he's seen the page and said he liked the content, so I appreciate you. But he definitely questioned some of the rotations and some of the pieces that Coach Snyder would put in place. But I would rather not know, and we have what we just had, the result that we just had, which is a W. So I'd rather not know, but I would rather not know what Quin Snyder is necessarily trying to do, but more so I want to know what the effectiveness is of it, if that makes any sense to you. I just feel as though I would rather, Quin Snyder do what he does best, which is coach and get them in the best position that they can do. Again, the Atlanta Hawks did an awesome job tonight beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now they advance to the next round of the NBA Cup, which goes down December 10th and 11th. That is the the knockout round. The knockout round starts the 10th and 11th. So the Atlanta Hawks do advance. The Atlanta Hawks do advance to the next round of the NBA Cup. And, of course, that starts December 10th and 11th. I wonder who we play in the next round. Again, this is for all the marbles. This is for a lot of money, okay? $500,000 could go a long way for someone like Kobe Buffkin or like Vic Krejci or even Cody Zeller, if we can find out where he is. But the point that I'm making is that this is a lot of money, and it's very important to these guys, and it's good to see that the Atlanta Hawks are starting to get together at the right time. They're 9-11 on the season right now, and they're 5-5 at home. So something that I'm starting to see again is that the three-point shooting is starting to come together. Guys like Zaccharie Risacher, they're finding ways to make points or affect the game in other ways than just scoring. And then again, the three-point shooting is starting to click on all cylinders. I definitely like to see Larry Nance possibly get some more time or even just get in the game. Of course, I haven't seen him in the last couple of games, but he is a very good shooter, and he can definitely create some mismatches for a lot of bigs. Going down the stretch. But again, great win by the Atlanta Hawks. I'm super excited to see where this could go in the NBA Cup and how they can possibly advance going forward this upcoming season. So again, yes, it's early, but really good to see the Atlanta Hawks win. Another point that I wanted to bring up before I left was that a lot of people are very surprised by the Atlanta Hawks. Again, earlier I was sort of disappointed at what I saw. I knew that the Atlanta Hawks were a lot better than what I saw, and of course that came out on the video. But when I talk to people, everyone they're very excited in seeing what the Atlanta Hawks are doing, especially guys like Dyson Daniels and Zaccharie Risacher. And of course, they want to see whether or not Trae Young decides to stick with the team or not. All in all, I'm really excited of seeing what the Atlanta Hawks are going to do. Hopefully, again, moving on to the next round of the NBA Cup, the Atlanta Hawks can possibly make some noise and advance even further. So only time will tell. We can only see this December 10th? Yeah, we can only see in December 10th who we're going to be playing and, where things go from there. But with all that being said, my name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest. Stick around for all your info, all of your Hawks information and Hawks updates right here. I'm out. Peace.